Yeah, sure. Thank you. So we'll proceed to Python session 2. So till yesterday we have covered Python session 1, which is having Python data types. What are the data types we have understood? That are numbers, strings, tuples, list, dictionary. Okay. So today we are deriving into the second part of Python, which will have the outline session about. Okay. So decision making, loops, input output functions, industry applications, Linux commands, running Python, data types. Okay. So the outline part, the decision making. Okay. So what is meant by decision making? See, if you are having a family, so main head of the family is father, and next head of the family is mother, and the next head of the family is elders. Okay. First decision is taken by father, else mother, else elder. Okay, that is how the decision making which we apply in our real life. The same way, we have to apply our decisions or the code functionality. So for making the decisions, we will be using some decision making syntaxes, statements, or keywords, whichever we use in Python shell scripting. Hope this is clear. Next. The first decision making statement is if. The syntax look like if expression colon. Next is statement. So similarly, so as we have learned in the previous session, how to run a Python script using command line interactive and command line script. So this is command line interactive. If I press Ctrl D, it will exit. So if I write some scripts, so if we can write here our scripts. Sorry for the interrupt. So this is the two. This is completely Linux environment. In this Linux environment, we will execute the Python script using Python shell script and Python interactive session. Okay. So we will understand what is the use case of if statement. So taking an example, I will copy this code and put it in a script. Gedit. So everyone learn Linux commands and how to run the Python script using Linux environment. So mostly the engineers of embedded systems or IoT, they use Linux environment. So the Windows environment is very less usage. Gedit if understood example dot py. Okay. So here I will open a editor script. Just I'll directly copy and paste. So if you see the code syntax, okay, the line 1, line 2, line 3 are aligned in one line. Okay, I am assigning the variable a equal to value of 33 and b equal to value of 200. And the condition to check is if b greater than a. Okay. If B greater than A, if the condition is true, okay, it will print B is greater than A. If it is false, we don't have any explanation there. So if you want to explain about that, we'll understand how the if statement works. Next, save, close it, and how to source the script. Python. And we need to check, does we have executable permissions or not? So we don't have executable permissions. So let me try and show you what will happen if that is if the file doesn't have executable permissions. Python. Okay. So as I am a root user, so I have all the privileges to execute. So if I am a normal user, I don't have the permissions to execute that file. So root user is the super privileged user in the Linux. Still, it is better to change the permissions. Chmod plus X. If we check, now the permissions are got applied. Read, write, and execute. Yeah. So we are assigning A equal to 33, B equal to 200. If B greater than A, then print B is greater than A. So now we will try to change the values. What will happen? Let us see. I am putting the bigger number. A. Now let's try to run the code. So as it is false, it didn't enter into the condition check. If that is true, it will go for printing the value B is greater than A. Got it? So this is how the if statement decision making will work. Any question? If you want to explore anything, please let me know. We'll try to compile and we'll understand. So what I will try to do is I will put the screens terminal on side by side. And will be on another side. The top bar is system with the top. So now everyone able to see the terminal screen, right? Side by side. Tadepalli Gudem. What is this? Your name itself is Tadepalli Gudem. Nice. Yeah, thank you. So if anyone has any question, please let me know how to understand if statement for decision making. So next is if else. So the syntax is if expression colon, okay, next statement under if. So we'll write the statements here. If condition, if expression, condition. Okay, next is statements what it has to execute. If the statements goes false, it has to come to the else, and print the or compute the values of else block. So hope everyone might be understanding it clearly as you are aware about C programming. Okay. So if this expression is true, this block of statements executes. If this expression is false, else block statements will get executed. So clearly, here is an example on the PPT. Okay. So I'll show you this directly on the Python. Okay. Z equal to 4. If Z greater than 7, the standard input output. Correct? Got it? There is an indentation error. Clearly, it is showing there is an indentation error. So to avoid these kind of executional errors, so better we prefer to write it in a file. If the code is more number of lines, we need to prefer Python shell script. So to do this, Control D. Now go for example. I'll just copy paste this code. Where I'm not getting the copy option. Gedit. Else underscore example dot p. So check here the indentation. Each mod plus x else. Python else. So if 7 greater than, if z greater than 7, indentation error. There is some character. What is that known as the character? Line 3, syntax error. What is the mistake? Sir, your voice is not audible. I am trying to type this code. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I am able to see that. Okay. So I am typing the code. Give me a minute. Okay. So we'll understand the statement about if and else. So the code is A is equal to 200, B is equal to 33. If B is greater than A, print B is greater, else print A is greater. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to check both the conditions. That is nothing but we are taking a decision between A and B two variables. So A is 200 and B is 33. If B is greater than A, so what is the value of B? If 33 is greater than 200, okay, it is false. So what is a false statement block? We have to execute else block. So for that, we are printing A is greater. Clear? So another good example, that is which is not covered in the slides. There is another statement called ELIF. ELIF. This is else if, but in continuation to the if statement. So I'll illustrate with an example directly. So gedit Python. So this is the code A equal to 300, B is equal to 33. If B is greater than A, print B is greater than A. Else if it is a comparison value, A equal to B, that is logical equality. A and B are equal. Else print A is greater than B. We'll try to change the values of A and B and we'll understand how this example works. So it is printing the else block. So now we'll try to change the values of A and B. So we'll put B is greater than A. Okay. And we'll try to check if the B value, A value, both are equal. How this works. A and B are equal. So all the three conditions we are able to check by changing the numbers. So the code replicates is how we need to use else if. So we can use if and else if there are one true and one false condition. If there are multiple conditions to check, if B is greater than A or if A equal to B or if A is greater than B, so there are three conditions to check. We have only two variables. If we are having the two variables, what are the possible conditions? We will be having either false, false. This is nothing but truth table. False, true. Next is true, false. Next is true, true. So here we are checking these possible conditions. So if we consider A is greater than B, we need to execute this. If A equal to B, we have to execute this. If A is smaller than B, we have to execute this. So how many conditions we need to check? We need to check three conditions. So we are checking for three conditions. If, else, if, else. If we are having more number of conditions, we need to have more number of else if statements, and the last statement should be else. Pallavi, can you please reconnect the session so that my voice is clear? Someone please confirm my audio is clear. Dear participants, Nagatriveni, are you able to hear me? Yes, yes, yes. So if you are unable to hear me, please let me know. Please try to be attentive in the session. So I am going very slowly. Yeah, clear. So we have covered three things. If, else. So if is directly executing only one statement or one expression. Okay. Based on that, whether it is true or false, the below statements get executed. And directly we should not have else. Okay. Combinedly with else, if we will have else. If this is failed, else has to be taken care. If is failed and we have more multiple conditions to check, we'll use else if. ELIM. Clear? Right. So then we are going to go for nested. So that's what I did. If you want to go for nested and we have multiple conditions, more than three conditions, okay, then we have to go for nested if statements. So if that nested if statements, you can use ELIF. Clear? Yes. Next is in the decision making, they have looping statements. So what is meant by looping statements? So in C language, we have while, do while, for loop. Without a looping statement, can we run a iteration of statements, or can we run a logic iteration without using looping statements? Is it possible? Yes or no? So I have a logic. This is my logic. Okay. I want to check this logic for 5 times. Okay. Without using looping statements, can I run this logic for 5 times? Is my question clear, everyone? Please, someone reply. Aditya, yes sir. Vinay, yes sir. So then what is the answer? So without using looping statements, can I check my logic for 5 times? If yes, what should be the usage? If no, why it cannot be done? Please, someone, can you put it in the chat window? So if my logic is okay, I want to run the same logic for 5 times. So what will be the alternate solution to run my logic for 5 times? If not, what is the failure? How we cannot run that? Rajeshwari, Rajeshwar Naidu, Jyoti Reddy. Raja, yes sir. So without using looping statements, can we test that logic for 5 times? Pawan Kumar, without for loop, no. For loop is also a statement. Okay. I am just asking in a generic way, without using looping statements, can we check this logic for 5 times? Raviteja, you don't ask me question. Just straightforward tell me the answer. Whether we can check the logic or not. If we can check the logic, how we need to check? I want to run that logic code for 5 times. So here is an example. Okay. You have all the 5 sensors deployed in 5 different locations. Okay. Those sensors doesn't have microcontroller or microprocessor. They are connected using RF communication. Okay. So in an hour, those sensors will send you the information 5 times. Okay. You will receive 5 different location sensors 5 times. So it is a combination of NCR. So without using these looping statements, how will you display the 5 sensor values of different locations individually? Location 1, all the 5 values. Location 2, all the 5 values. Location 3, all the 5 values. Like that, how we are going to display. See, already you are a C programmer. Okay, Champa. You are learning C programming also still. So you might be writing some codes using different kinds of constructs. So this question I am leaving it to you. Think it and let's answer or understand how we can do using without looping statements. So without looping statements we can do, but without decision making we cannot do. So decision makings are very important. So without looping statements, we can run the logic for 5 times. If we want to run it for infinity times, the length of the code will increase, but the computation time also increases. To avoid this condition, we are using the looping statements. If it is for 5 times, 10 times, we are not going to lose any time or any type of computation. This is very small amount of logic. If you have a big amount of logic, like robo or any artificial intelligence processing or machine learning processing, okay, we cannot go for the real-time application. Okay, we cannot take a chance for the failure of looping statements. So for individual 5 times, 10 times logic repetition, we can use some other construct in Python. So what is that construct? Please let's understand in the next session of the class. I am leaving it for you students. So based on this, what is your analytical skills? I can understand. Clear? Raviteja, do not ask me questions. We can use if conditions, sir. Yes. So how we need to use if condition? You need to understand. Okay. To repeat that logic 5 times. Try to test yourself. Devisri. Yeah, good. Good, Ravi. So now we will go to the logic and understand how the if block statements or while block, while block loop will work. While of expression. Expression is nothing but whether it can be a condition or it can be a zero number or non-zero number. Okay. So while of expression. If this expression is non-zero, then it is always true. If the expression is zero, it's always false. This is taken grant for everything. See, if we put while of a character, a can be any value, but the compiler or interpreter will take the ASCII value of a. Then it is a number. It's always non-zero number. Then it is true. So it will execute the while block statements. So these kind of analysis you need to do. Sometimes if you don't want to, okay, put the numbers or we want to hide the code in the expression part, then we need to put this kind of logics using zero or non-zero numbers. So coming to the example, so here on the notepad, it is very small. I'll try to copy paste and put it in the terminal, which looks in the bigger size. Here. Right. insert, right click, save, cat file dot file. So I'm initializing a variable I equal to 1. Okay, I'm checking for the condition while I is less than 6. So here I'm giving the condition print I. Next is I plus equal to 1. Is this pre-increment or post-increment? Someone need to deliberately answer me. Is this is pre-increment or post-increment? So Raviteja, how it is called a post-increment? I'm initializing a value of I equal to 1. Okay. So while I greater than, where I less than 6. So it will print I value. So it will check for the condition I is less than 6. 1 is always less than 6. So it will print I. So it will print 1 first time. Next, I plus equal to 1. So I value is 1 and it is adding another value. Then it is becoming 2. Next, it will go for the condition. 2 is less than 6. Print 2. Next, it will add 2 plus 1. This will become 3. Again, it will check for the condition 3 less than 6. It will print the characters, the numbers from 1 to 5. So let's check how it is going to work by running the code. Python. There is an indentation error. Is this clear, everyone? So the basic principle of Python is indentation. We need to allow indentation. If that indentation is not getting corrected, okay. So if you go for the notepad, okay, the indentation looks correct. But whereas if you go for another kind of editors, okay, so we may change the indentation. Automatically the editor gets changes its indentation. So try to save the file before creating it in the Python shell script. Then when you copy and paste it, it will become as indentation oriented file. Clear? The example of while loop, it is checking for 6 times. So it has to go for 6 cycles. So my logic is clear here. The previous example, without using looping statements, I need to check my logic for 6 times. So is it possible by using any other construct of Python programming language? So replay it in the next session. Next looping statement is infinity loop. So using while loop only, we have to create an infinity loop. That infinity loop will never becomes false condition. So I'll try to give you an example. We'll try to check this code. Which Python is correct? User bin Python. Next is gedit infinite loop.py. So this is the library file. So this will call in C programming as preprocessor directive. Hash include stdio.h, hash include path.h, hash include whatever the function, scientificlib.h, or any kind of library we want to give as a preprocessor directive. Okay, in C programming, we will write on the top line as a global declaration. So here in the Python also, I am trying to give where my Python environment variable is set up. So user bin Python. So here I have set up user bin Python. Clear so far? So let's understand how the code works for infinity loop. Cat infinity.py. I have given cat. Again, copy complete code. Line 4. There is no light green, but still infinity. Yeah, screen sharing is stopped. Just laptop got hanged out due to Peter. So I'm sharing it back. Rita, we need to evaluate condition. So this is how the infinity loop works. Sorry, there is an assignment error. Okay, I double equal to is checking for the condition, and I equal to 1 is assignment I value equal to 1. So while I double equal to 1 is logical equality, whether the I value is equal to 1 or not. So if that is true, that is nothing but completely we are assigning it has infinity loop. So unless until we press Control D or Control C, it will never stop. Okay, so it's like completely infinity loop. If I put greater than equal to, let's say it is checking for the greater than and it is checking for the equality. So as the condition is equality, then it is printing infinity loop. If you put only greater than, so it is false. If it is less than, false. If it is equal to, then it is going for an infinity loop. So infinity loop, we need to using the command line interpret, we have to interrupt, we have to stop the thread of infinity loop. That's what we are giving the keyboard interrupt. This is a practical example where we see in OS. So mainly when we give the keyboard interrupt only, some kind of process gets stopped. So for that kind of process, we give as keyboard interrupt. Okay. So without using keyboard interrupt, we have another statement called break. So how to do that? We will be using an example. So this is else with while loop, and this is for loop, and I'll give you an example how to use break statement. So understanding the code, how to use the break statement while underscore break. I equal to 1. This is an assignment while I is less than 6. Yes. So the previous example was print I. So we are including while loop with decision making. If I equal to 3, then we have to break the loop. Even though it is giving the post increment I equal to +1. Okay. So running this script, it is executing only till 3. When I value is 3, it is giving the break. So if I don't give the break, it will print till 5. Correct? Is everyone able to follow? So here, so my screen is visible, right, everyone? Someone please confirm. My screen is visible and example is visible, code is visible and output is visible. Yeah, the programming part is little bit boring. Okay. but try to understand in theoretical way. So when you are applying these kind of codes in Raspberry Pi, you will understand how to write this code. So continuously my sensor is sending the data. Okay. So I am storing it in a memory card. Okay. So once it is sending 100 samples of data, I need to put a break so that it will stop sending the data. Even though it is sending, my device will not be ready to receive it. This is a practical example. Is everyone able to follow this example? While loop using if and break statement. If you have any question, please post it on the chat window. I'll try to explain you more clearly. Dear participants, you are able to understand. Sunil, any questions? Naga Triveni, Balaji, Akhil. Sushmita. Hemant, good evening. For E5. What is the name? It is going into an infinity loop. Even though we are applying break. Okay. But it is not giving any increment value for the first time. So this is very increment. So this increment will not work. So only we have to be very careful how to apply the increment in the code. So unless until I apply, okay, keyboard interrupt, I am unable to edit the code also. You can see. I am not able to edit my code also. So I need to stop this code. Break code is not working for this example unless until I reach 3 samples or 3 amount of data. Always my I value is 1. So it is going to infinity loop. That is lack of indentation. So for the eyesight, it is not possible. But whereas in Notepad, we can see the indentation. It is giving us the lines. But whereas in the editor of JEdit, it is not giving the lines. So only we are unable to justify the indentation here. Okay. Is this clear example, everyone? While break, give me 2 minutes of time. I'll get a glass of water and a cup of tea. Just 2 to 3 minutes, I'll take a break. Okay. So we will continue the next session with looping statements, and we'll see the examples running in Python. Okay. Shravani, can you reconnect your session? Jupali, who is this Jupali new person? Today I have got 2 new persons in the chat. Sushmita, Balaji, Tadepalli Gudem, and remaining people are regular. And other people, they leave the session and they will log in and they will leave, I think. Okay, 2 minutes of time, please. Karishma, please, at the time of 8:25 or 8:40, you can ask for the link for attendance. Okay. So there was a previous assignment from my side. Okay. So to give you the task, how to write a Python script for, okay, for calculator design. So here is the example of the code. I'll try to put it in the bigger notepad and I'll explain it. So I've asked Blackbucks team to give it as an assignment for you. So here I'm using functions. Okay, without using functions, you can use the operators also. So I have asked two people to design a calculator using operators. So this is already an existing example, which I was writing in terms of my internship in 2013 and 14. Okay, so when I was working in the internship, so I have designed this calculator code. So using functions. So we have not covered the topic functions, but I have requested you people to write a code using operators. So my voice is clear, right? Everyone is back after 2 minutes of break. Smita, yes. Thank you. Sunil, yes. Is my session boring? Vinay, yes, sir. Why Vinay? Try to learn subject. Okay. Yeah, Vinay was telling me, yes, sir. So only I am asking him to learn the subject, even though the subject is boring or the class is boring. So this kind of coding sessions will be a little bit slightly boring. Okay. So, but try to understand it. So, yeah, it was joke, Vinay. Uh, so we are using functions here. So I have not covered the functions part. So we'll just try to understand using operators. So this is an addition function. So I am using x plus y. So I am using subtraction. I am using x minus y. And using multiplication, I am using x into y. And division, x divided by y. So based on the user input, I have to take this selection. Okay, it's like multiplexer. 4:1 multiplexer. I have 4 options: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So based on the selection, okay, so what will be the output? While of true. So here it is a based on the user choice. Every time it will ask for the user choice. It will ask first time, which option do you want to choose? 1 is for addition, 2 is for subtraction, 3 is for multiplication, 4 is for division. And next choice is enter the first number. It is scanf. Next is enter the second number. If no value is given, it will not proceed for the computation. If all the values are provided, it will go for continue. If the choice is 1, it will go for addition. If the choice is 2, it will go for subtraction. If the choice is 3, multiplication. If the choice is 4, division. If no choice, it will break and it will go for no calculation, invalid inputs. So at this time of my internship, this was my first Python assignment. So directly learning all the data types, data computations, operators, everything. Okay. After learning looping statements, functions, all the things. So the first assignment question related to the Python session 1 was define or design a calculator, simple calculator. So we can go for more number of operations also using left shift, right shift, logical and logical or all this also. So, but for now, only we are doing 4 computations based on the user inputs. Clear? The example is Shravani, Susmita, Jyoti Reddy, Hemant, Naga Triveni, yes sir. So Naga Triveni is the first person who will reply. Satish, what is this here? You are spoiling my interest to teach you how the subject. I want to insert a chip called Python in your brain. So you are asking me a question, attendance. So how is it possible? So next time onwards, I'll caution Blackbucks team. Okay, the people who are asking for attendance link. we have to disable their chat also. Okay. So after completing the complete session, we will take a 5 minutes of time for questions and next 5 minutes for the attendance link. Else, the chat will be disabled. Those whoever puts attendance message in the chat. Okay. Venkateswarlu, what is the next topic name, sir? So, did you complete your assignment? Did you write the assignment? So, where is your Python code? Have you submitted the assignment? Venkateswarlu, it's a long weekend. Okay. Saturday, Sunday. So, after completing Saturday, Sunday, you have come to Monday. I have requested, sir, I have doesn't laptop, sir. So, even Android phone can support Python IDE. You know that? If you have iPhone or Android phone, okay. Yeah, Nasiruddin seems to be you're not interested in the class. Just now I was telling not to ask for. We can do through online compilers. Yes, yes, definitely. Not compilers, but interpreters. If we can directly run the code in the Google also, it will show you the output. How to submit assignments, sir? So Blackbucks team will enable you the channel. So you need to submit assignment here. Okay. So before going to the next topic, I have given you an assignment. So this code might help you how to solve the calculator design. So I was asking using operators. So here I have used many things, operators, functions, loops, everything. Yeah, Blackbucks team will help you to how to submit the assignments. Okay. So I request all the people. So if I'm giving you an assignment, it is an assignment. Take it for granted. Okay. So once you are done that assignment, if I'm asking suddenly, okay, you don't have an answer. So you all are engineering students. A tool without engineer, what he will be doing? So can electrician work without a tester, screwdriver, cutting plate? Will he touch the electrical lines with his bare hand to put his life into risk? No. Okay. Similar way, we are also engineers without tools. So only people are giving multiple answers or excuses. So you should be a proficient engineer with the tools to give the assignment answer. Yes, done. Whether it is a mistake or not a mistake. Okay. If you have bugs, errors in the code, no problem. If you have given an attempt, is the first step for your success story. Yes, Ravani, if you don't know how to do that assignment, so from the first class, I am teaching you what are the data types and what are the operators in Python. And I have given a simple syntax codes. Okay, using that all syntax codes, you can build a large code to design calculator like this. Sampati Venkateswarlu. So I want a answer for design of calculator using Python script operators. Okay. Shravani, did I answer your question? Okay, sir. Thank you. So now I'll try to run this code. Delta cal.py. So line 55, there is a path. So Shravani, select an operation. Shravani, I'm giving you a chance on the screen. Select the operation. So as per Aditya addition, okay. So it has taken too long time. So if there is a bug, for everything it is giving an invalid input. So I will not try to debug this code now. Okay. Once you complete the assignment of calculator using operators only, I'll give you this code and try to debug this code. I know where is the bug. So I'll give you this code also. Okay. Blackbucks team will share you this code and try to debug this code. Once you submit your calculator using operators. Okay. Else, this code is not available on the portal. Make sure Blackbucks. Okay. So I'm giving a keyboard interrupt to escape. So next concept of looping statement is for loop. So what for loop does is the same thing as a while loop. Okay. For loop will have the condition and the sequence of statements to get executed. Okay. So here the example one and example are having based on the strings. For letter in black box, I am exercising the for loop on black box. For letter in black box, print letter, else print error. So just try to observe this example, what it gives you the output. That is great. Thank you. Expected. The whole difficulty from PPT is not working properly. Yeah, Tadepalli today I'll explain you what are the topics we have covered for today. So there are some online compilers also. So I'll try to show you how to use them. Okay. As someone was telling me how to run the Python code online, so just now I explored. So even that. So understanding about for loop. So the above one is the output and the below one is list. So list is having similar data types. Everything is strings. So fruits is the list. So I'm trying to print fruits in a Boolean character. For x in fruits, print x. So what will be the list value? 0, 1, 2. That is the index value. So till 0, 1, 2, it reaches, it will print the values of the list. So if we have another kind of character, we'll try to add it. Insert mode, comma, delete. So this is how it calculates the index value of x. Based on the index value of x, okay, x is non-zero number. So it is printing the index value with a key pair value, apple, banana, cherry, kiwi. So it is printing all the values of list. So even here is an assignment question for you directly for loop to all. Okay. Instead of fruits, you can use any kind of thing. Okay. Here I am using fruits equal to list. But I need fruits equal to dictionary. Fruits equal to apple. Based on these two examples, based on the list example, create two assignment codes, fruits equal to dictionary, fruits equal to tuple. Hope everyone got the question right. If anyone didn't understand, please let me know. Here, instead of using the list, use tuple, use dictionary, and print the values based on the tuple and dictionary. Clear? So if they are not submitting these three assignments, do not give any attendance. Clearly revalidate the attendance. Okay, Blackbucks team. I need three assignments, that is calculator design and for loop using list, tuple, dictionary. Definitely. Right? So nested looping is also possible. So this example one, example two is similar. Okay. So I'm jumping to the nested loops. So in nested loops, as we have seen, nested decision conditions, if else, sorry, if else, if else, these all are the nested statements. So in looping also we can use for loop, inside another for loop, and inside another for loop, and nested statements, or while loop, other expressions, or else for loop, while loop, whatever the situation comes. Okay. Loop control statements. There are three control loop statements: break, continue, pass. So Blackbucks team will post you the three questions. Okay, Blackbucks, please take care of it. So the three questions are design of calculator using operators. First one. Next is for loop. Okay, the example which I taught in the class. For loop, I am using the list. Aparna, please wait. So for loop using tuple, for loop using dictionary. So I need these three examples or three codes. Clear, Susmita? Yes. So there are three kind of loop control statements: break, continue, and pass. So in while loop or in decision condition making skills, we are going to use break. So we have 100 samples of data. We want to break it. But still the sensor will be sending the data, but microcontroller will not be receiving it. But after 100 units of time, I want to continue receiving the data. So we will use continuous statement. And next is pass. So if you want to pass this condition, we will be using pass. If in while loop we have if 6 greater than I. Okay. So unless until I becomes 6, the condition gets fails. But if we are passing, what will happen is the assignment question. So it is very clear how to break, how to continue, but how to pass, we are not aware about it. So I have a while loop. In that while loop, I value is initialized to 1. Okay. While I is less than 6. But after printing 1 to 5, I have to pass the loop control statement. What will happen? Give me an example. Okay. Take this as fourth question. Clear so far, everyone? Yeah. Fourth questions so far today. So we'll see the example in for loop for letter in Python. Okay, if letter equal to h. So until the letter h comes, my print command will work to print t by t. If letter h equal to h, what it will do? It will break. Clear? Someone in Blackbucks team will post you the questions. Okay. So please be attentive in the session while I am giving you the questions or teaching the or speaking anything from my mouth. So only you can catch these things. If you are missing, you will be asking me an interrupt question in the chat. Okay. So please be attentive from the next thing. So here is an example of the break statement for letters in Python. Okay. If letter equal to h, this is conditional equality. So until the h letter comes, it will print p y t, and h equal to h, then it will break. Clear? Okay, I understand. There are use cases. Shravani. Next is continue statement. For letter in Python, if letter conditional equal to h, okay, what it will do? It will print till h, okay, and it will execute the condition continue, and it will print o and on also. It will print for the first time till pyt, and h equal to h, it is pass, and it will go for continue. It will print HON also. This is example for the continue. Next is for pass. For letter in Python, if letter conditional equal to h, okay, you understood break and continue as we have executed break and continue in while loop and for loop. Okay, so far. But this code pass, I'm not going to execute in the Python script. Okay, as it has given it as an assignment to you. What will be the execution output? I just want to understand from the participants and students. If letter equal to conditional equal to h, okay, till h it will print pass. What it will pass? Print this is block. That means it has to stop printing till h. Then it will come to goodbye. Clear? Is everyone able to understand the loop control statements? Break, continue, pass. Varshika Sai, for the first time I'm seeing your chat. Spandana, Sagar, Gopala Krishna, Sivakumar, Sushmita, Janavi, Ramya, Sri Lakshmi. Yeah, Nagatriveni, you are having a big question. See, what I am telling? PYTH, h equal to h. What it will happen? It will execute the pass command. What it will pass to? Print this pass block. This message it will print. First time it will print P, it will print Y, it will print T, as h equal to h, it is true, it will print h. Till h comes, this is true. So what it will happen? It will skip the pass and it will print the each and every character. Once h is completed, it will go for this is block message. P, 5, T, H. Next, this will print this statement. I am passing my value to print this message. And next it will print last movement. Clear? Savani, are you able to catch Alluri Nagatriveni? Yes, thank you, sir. So don't copy my example. You have to give it your own examples. And I'll ask the Blackbucks team to check the plagiarism also. The plagiarism is nothing but if you copy the code from internet, Google, okay, it will directly trace out the link in the Google. I have that script. Okay. So Blackbucks team will do that plagiarism. Yeah, Shivananda Reddy, correct. Your logic is working. Yes, yes. So in the next session, we'll cover about file IOs. Okay. So for today, we'll close the session. Okay. Yeah, Velpula. Tej. So there are directly how many questions total? Blackbucks. Four questions. One question on the calculator, two questions on the for loop, for list, tuple, dictionary, and next is pass. That is loop control statement using pass. Next topic is Python file IOs, footage. So next topic we will cover it in the next session. So today we have covered about control statements and decision making statements. Blackbucks team can post the attendance link right now. Yeah, thank you for being patient today in the class. So the people who are repeating the attendance message, their attendance or their presence in the chat will be blocked. Okay. From next session. Yeah, thank you very much. But keep please in your available time. Keep practicing more about the Python coding. So keep practicing about Arduino board, ESP8266 board also. So try to get these boards from the online marketing and do exercise as long as you want to work on embedded systems and IoT. And there is a big session on Raspberry Pi. Okay, once after this Python completes, we'll go for the development of interfaces of codes with sensors, actuators, motors, and all the protocols working on the Raspberry Pi using Python shell script. So at that time, you need to understand how this software Python code is working for the hardware based on similar like embedded C. Okay, similar like embedded C. Clear? Thank you all. Good night.